Pause your feet. Sit up straight. Take some deep breaths. Yeah, some audible exhales are always nice. There is such a release of, in my opinion, negativity in my brain. There is a release of any tension in my shoulders. It's kind of like when I let myself, and I remember audibly exhale, or when I find myself just doing that, immediately my mind is focused on, oh my gosh, that felt good, that release, do another one, right? Letting go. We've got this new year. Go ahead and roll through your shoulders. Take a really deep inhale using just your nose. Hold, and then a slow audible exhale. Do it again. Inhale. Hold. Now, we remember the two things with our breath. We never hold into tension, right? And always, always, if we're starting to feel that tension, we can immediately breathe. There is no reason, it's just there. So use it, okay? You really won't ever improve the muscle capacity of the diaphragm in the lungs. Go ahead and take a deep inhale, and then can you yawn? Can you force yawn? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just let the whole jaw, the whole mouth, try another one of those. Hold the breath, and then force yawn. Almost always. Those yawns, when you involuntarily yawn, right? It is a lack of oxygen. Our body is saying, I need more. Open up your mouth and let me get more. So when you yawn sitting in church, or when you yawn if you're talking to someone, yeah, and you just haven't had enough, because more often than not, most of us, when we lie down and sleep, our breath capacity improves. Because we're not using any of the muscle. All right, here we go. Go ahead and lift the heels. Move the feet in just a little. You're still ankles above knees. And then you're gonna try to push down with the heels, but they're not gonna come down at all. So you'll be feeling an engagement of the muscles. But as you try to push down, okay, go ahead and try more with the right leg than the left leg. And then try more with the left leg. And just kind of see in your mind which one is easier to push down. Once I start, I can feel it, but the first initial is like, oh my goodness. Then go ahead, you'll have to move out, so we are still right below. The ankles, the knees right above the ankles right below. Now see if you can push down with the whole foot instead of just, it's easier with the heel lifted for some reason. I think it's because smaller surface area, but try to push down with the whole right foot. Notice that the sit bone and the leg gets involved. So try to push down. Maybe even, you're still on the right foot, push, maybe even just like somebody was pushing on your hips, just down, or maybe just here on the thigh. Find that rounding. Notice the thigh starting to work, starts to burn a little bit, and then go ahead and release. That action, okay, when we are standing or in a down dog or a forward fold or something, that action protects the low back and helps bring us up using leg muscle versus these little back muscles, okay? This glute muscle, much, much bigger than these little tiny muscles here. Go ahead, push down again with the same foot, right. Push down. Can you feel the heel? Can you feel the inner part of the heel, the outer part of the heel? The inner part of the ball of the foot, the outer part. Can you reach the toes and even feel them without scrunching them? Push down. My glute is burning here. I'm pushing down that hard. So push down. Can you find that movement? Does that, I know that's not your knee that's bugging, but can you feel that in your knee at all? Okay, I know it's that knee, but you don't feel it in this knee, do you? I start to feel it up through here and then release. Go ahead and take some wiggles, okay? So there are ways to move. Go ahead and make them big. Draw them up. If you need your hand, draw them in. How tight can you get that thigh to your chest? Yeah, and back out, and how that. And then go ahead and cross it over. In fact, can you bring it up and cross it this way? And then come back. And so we're just trying to get this range of motion, okay? Sometimes we just have to pick up that foot and then go ahead and take it that range of motion, okay? And then make big circles, okay? And then reverse the circles. So we're kind of going both directions, but we're helping. Now, if it's really hard here, you can always do this, okay? And get that forearm underneath. And then release and bring it back down.
That's so good because it's my left knee and my right knee.
Yeah. And that might be some of what you find.
Yeah, my left knee's been a little bit bounced on my right hip.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this other side. So you're just going to take the whole foot and push. Sometimes I get the feeling of like, you know how you go through hot sand to get down to the wet? That's kind of what, yeah, that kind of a feeling of just rooting down. Now my toes aren't scrunching in, okay, like this. I'm really trying to push the whole foot. See if you can, from the hip, feel even just a little bit of a push down into the chair. We're right on the edge of the chair. Push down into the thigh. Just finding that, and it almost feels, and we've done this before, it almost feels like you're going down and maybe you could push the foot forward and it would scoot you backwards, but you're not moving backwards. So find that push. This is some of the muscle we want to work as we ride bikes, as we walk. We want to have the understanding. Anytime we root down with our foot, okay, and then we use the muscle to push down and lift up, okay? So go ahead and we're gonna still push down. I'm hoping it's starting to burn a little bit. Push down, see if you can see. It's harder to do seated. And then go ahead and release. Kind of wiggle that out, and then let's find some range of motion. So bring it in. Okay, start small if you need to, and then this is the one that this is the movement that is just,
Cross over the front.
yeah, that's for me is just excruciating. And anymore now, even out to the side. So find some range of motion. Okay, we're gonna go back into this, up and over. Up and over. I don't want to lose that ability. But I'm guessing that maybe that's where I'm bone on bone. And there's no more tendon. And come back over here, no more ligament, no more padding. Okay, and come and hold out here, yeah, and then just come down, shake it out. So we're gonna try and work on, while we do other stuff up here. I'm not sure I want to do the balancing that I wanted to do with your knee. So,
Sorry.
that's okay, that's okay. I can shift, I can change. Okay, so go ahead, spread through the toes, push down. Would you lean forward? You can bring your hands, okay, just like that. Now, when you do this, when you're pushing down, okay, you feel the weight of just the added weight of your body leaning on that. So drill those heels and the ball of the foot, try to really push them down. You will find as we do this and we push down that maybe the backs of your legs are engaging. Can you feel the hamstring? Not the calves. The calves are always going to when we do that. But see if you can do this. Now I want you to feel, you're going to take the right foot first. Without moving it, try to pull the heel backwards. There's that hamstring work. And then take it to the left, pull it backwards. It's not moving. This is kind of an isotonic contraction, right? It's just holding it still. Heel goes back, right one, and then change it to the left one. And I'm sorry, online, you can't see this happening. You can just feel it. Pull it back and pull it back. Pull it back and pull it back. So you really are just kind of rolling side to side. The heel is trying to pull back, but it's not able. And then release and come back up and you'll feel, yes, that the back of the hamstrings and the glutes have worked. Okay, go ahead. Let's take them wide. We're going to do the exact same thing because it uses different hamstring muscles. Make sure knee is right above the ankle. It can be here, although in this one I'd rather have it here, but you don't ever want it here. Not when we're doing this kind of work. We are probably safe enough in our chairs to not injure the knee, but if we are not using the muscle, the knee will be injured. So, plant, push down, push down, push down, push down. You will feel, you might get just a little bit of side to side movement. When I push down, I shift here, Newton's law. When I push here, I shift there. So it's just sit up straight and find this action kind of just happening. Yeah, very intrinsic. Okay, just kind of warming up those hips going wide and then pause. Now pull, 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 pull. Feel the difference. Just feel what's going on. Here, it's also on the hamstring. I'm pulling the heel, trying to pull it in. It's not moving anywhere. Pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in, and then see if you can do both together. When you do both together, feel as if there's a magnet kind of right here, just pulling the thighs wide as you pull in. Oh yeah, and then release, tuck your tailbone, heel toe those legs, feet back in, and shake them out. Okay, so some pretty good stuff that we can do just seated. Go ahead and grab your block. High and squeeze, okay? Squeezing it now. Squeezing the block, right, left. You got to know how much fun. Blair's like, what are you doing? I'm working on yoga. It's like, okay, if you say so. Push down, push down. Notice what your hips do with the squeeze, okay? You're now working this way because this squeeze, because our thigh bones are one piece and we know the fulcrum. If I do this in, that's going to widen, okay? If I pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, okay, you're going to get into the, can you feel the outside of the hip a little bit more? Getting some work, okay? Pull back. So there's not a ton of stuff going on here. The thing that is so amazing about this body, I could be an invalid and be doing this, okay? I really could. So finding all that work, push down, like you're going to push forward and then pull back, both feet. Push down, still squeezing that block, pull back, push down, pull back, push down, pull back, and then just release and relax. Okay. Some might say, well, why is this important? Okay. When we get stronger, this kind of work works individual muscle fibers in our legs. Okay. It is the exact same work we would do if we were doing hamstring. Yeah, this.
Biceps.
Thank you. Bicep curls, right? In and out, working here, okay? When we work those muscles, they get stronger. That is the only way they get stronger. If all we do is sit on a bike or walk, yes, it gets us our mobility, it keeps us upright, it keeps us moving, it's fabulous. It works our internal organs. But to work muscle, okay, had a student 2 weeks ago come to class and she's like, I've got to do more weight-bearing exercises. And I said, what did your doctor say is weight-bearing? She goes, running. And I'm like, but then we can find some weight-bearing that's not running, right? Because that's hard on the body, okay? So, one more thing, bring your block back, okay? You're gonna push down on it. Now, we've done this before. You're gonna hopefully feel the thighs do this rotation, okay? So go ahead and push down. You're squeezing, push down, lean. Just lean your body forward. Notice what happens in the low back here. Lean more forward, even more. Okay, feel as you push down and squeeze the block in, you're creating space in the sacrum. Okay, the sacrum, the hips widen, and they create space. Go ahead and come back up. Now move it even closer up in between the thighs. Still bringing it up, okay? And again, push down. You're gonna feel even more here, okay? Yeah.
It'd be good to do when my back is.
When your back is sore and bugging, reach forward. Now squeeze the block. The more you squeeze the block with that push down, the more you feel the spread in the sacrum. Try to keep your spine long so you're really reaching up and then release. Come back up. Go ahead and just round, okay? So there is some stuff we can do, right? Yeah, find some range of motion. Beautifully done. Go ahead and put the block down and grab your sticks. Oh, is yours too far back? Oh, you got it. Good. Let's just do some range of motion. Come up. Now, we have before tried to hold I was playing around with a broom handle, okay? Start about here, maybe 2 feet, okay? You might need a little longer because you've got longer arms. You just got to hold over longer body. Okay, come up, and as you come here, will you let it slide and bring it behind? And then bring it up and slide it back in. Woo, and bring it down. I don't know about you, but that gets the shoulder. So what we're doing is as we slide it in, we're using here. As we slide it out, we're using outside, okay? So here we go. And you can slide in clear to here if you want. Here, slide it out, and as we pull that down, take it back up, slide it in, and bring it down. Okay, it's fabulous work for the shoulder. Up, take it out, take it behind, bring it up, bring it back in, and bring it down, okay? Take it up, go about this and pause, okay? You're gonna take this side, lift it, pull with the other side. Yeah, okay, he's been having fun. Pull it up, lift, pull. Oh yeah, take it up, lift, pull. So I don't have a ton of side bend going on, right? We can pull. Right now, we're just pulling. So I'm still here trying to push that up, pulling this down at the same time. Come all the way up and down. One more, this last side, up and down. Push up and release. Roll through the shoulders.
Shoulder blades.
Shoulder.
That's good.
So it is, and we celebrated. We had, sorry, Dad, Mom, if you're watching. We celebrated their 90th. We had a surprise.
Oh.
My dad helped plan my mom's because her birthday's in December. And we had it the day after Christmas. We always have a family gathering, so Mom had no idea. But Dad didn't know that we also got together because he turns 90 in May. And so we celebrated both, okay? I've got pictures of them waltzing. It was beautiful. It was a wonderful day. It was a wonderful day. But I am so bound and determined to not have this. So bound and determined. So bound and determined. And the key, a lot of that key is these shoulder blades pulling back and us lengthening up. So one more thing we're going to try. Go ahead and plant that. Bring your hands. They can be kind of right in front of your nose. Your arms are bent. Push down and try to just lift your rear end off the chair. Find that length right in the waistline, the rib cage. And then will you take the muscles and just tighten it, like a sphincter, like just squeeze that in around the spine, and then go ahead and release. Notice the minute you release, you feel this. Gravity is going to take us there, okay? We want to find things that bring us up and out, okay? So again, in front of the nose, you can change hands if one got more than the other. Push down. And almost like you're really trying, go ahead and even push into your feet. This would be almost impossible. I would have to lean forward to be able to stand up. But see if you can push into your feet and maybe get a little bit more. Can your shoulders, but they can come up by the ears, but then you really want to pull them down and just find that waist lengthening and then tighten, 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 tighten. Squeeze this way around the waist. Find that and release. I don't know about you, but that is some of the best when my low back aches, is doing that. Because almost always my low back aches after I've been working it, right? Especially pickleball. Just the twisting, the getting, that kind of a thing. If I can sit in my car and just go ahead, take your hands a little higher this time, okay? You're gonna let your shoulders come right alongside the ears. We don't want them there, okay? But then you're gonna try and pull them down, but keep the length in the spine. Push down hard with your hands. Really pull, as if you could lift your whole body up, and I'm sure some people could, but I'm not one of them. Tighten the waistline. Feel that squeeze. You can also not just tighten, but feel like the strings are pulling back towards the back of your chair. And then release. So that's just one of my faves as I've been playing with that. Okay, let's take a twist.
It's a good one to do after the mopping the floor.
Yeah, or vacuuming. Yeah, I think it's a great one to do anytime. You can do it standing. So go ahead and let's just try it. Stand, okay. Pole's going to have to be out in front of you because of this. And it's like you're going to try, and it's pretty easy here to do just this. But you're going to do that, and then you're going to, so we're going to kind of, we'll try to lengthen our spine this way, but then with the heels down and still keeping our spine lengthened, okay? So you're going to be up at the edge, depending on how tall you are. You can be up here if you want, that's better, okay? Push down, lengthen up, okay? Go ahead and let, okay, be careful because it's balance. And then would you stay up here, try to pull the heels back down. Pushing down, use your hands, come a little forward if they're pull, if you need to. Try to pull those heels down. Feel that pull your spine. I really have thought, go ahead and release that. I would love to have one of those racks if I could control it. I don't want somebody to torture me, but can you hear the big, finding that length, right? So how did it feel to go backwards or opposite direction with that pull? You feel that, right? Through here, okay? I want you to think what we're doing, okay? Go ahead and move that stick a little bit forward, and it can totally, it's just helping us lengthen. Go ahead and first, before you bring the heels up, push down and lengthen the spine. And then let the heels lift, still lengthening the spine. You get a little bit more length there, and then slowly drag those heels down. Feel the length in the belly. Tighten. Now, one of the things that loves to happen here is you love to start feeling that back bend happen. Totally fine, but we're not working on a back bend right now. So pull back with the waistline. Feel those corset strings pulling this way as you're there. Okay, and then come all the way down. Yeah, that's some back work. Beautifully done. Fabulous work. Yeah, sit back down. Let's go ahead and find just a twist. So go ahead and grab, okay? Bring this back. Oh, I had this against a wall. Put this on the back of the chair. Just right on the, not through the hole, but on the back of the chair, okay? And then see if you can pull this that way. I'm pushing, I'm pulling. So this is moving. Let me see if I can show it this way better. Okay, this is back against the chair. Mine isn't here, but it's pulling this way as I'm pushing that way. And then I'm going to reverse and pull with this hand and push with that hand, okay? So you can start with it there. It's not going to stay there. So go ahead and push. Let the back of that stick move. Come back through. You can totally push. And then come and switch. Pushing, pulling. Come all the way back. I like it better without it against the chair. Push. So I'm really pushing this hand that way. And then I'm pulling and pushing. And because of the way our bodies are made, this is creating my arms moving and doing the push lengthens the rib cage. Okay, this is also fabulous for getting out of the low back. One more to this side, push, and then go ahead and come up and down. Just roll through those shoulders. Yeah, notice your spine. Beautifully done. Okay, let's stand. Oh wait. Oh, we'll do this. I've got that set up for a reason. But go ahead and come back, right? Come behind your chair. I move the chair forward so we'd have our mat. Just lengthen. Now, take your feet further behind the chair than maybe what you normally would do. Come to the edge of your mat. You might want to move that chair just a tad bit forward. Bend your knees. Okay, now push down into the right leg. Okay, lengthen the sit bones back. Push into the hands that are on the top of the chair and try to pull the shoulder blades down. You might feel the chair start to lift, so we're not going that far. And then stop and go to the second side. Push down with the left leg, pull back with the sit bone, push down with the arms. Can you tighten the waistline? Here. And release. And come all the way up and walk in. Does that feel okay? Okay. So, one of the things when I was first, remember we talked about when we were walking and just learning how to use our feet, to use the whole foot. That was all done so that I could not have knee issues when I was hiking. Okay? And so I would walk and I would feel inside my shoes and I was using the whole foot, right? And that's how slow I have to walk to get that habit. And now it's a habit. Although I can't hike because of my hip. But as we do this, lengthen, this push down. When I just do a normal down dog now, okay, all that work is going on my mat. So I'm reaching, I'm pushing down with my feet, I'm pushing down with my hands. I'm finding length in my spine. I'm tightening the spine. I'm just fusing everything in this body. And then go ahead and from here, I want to try this and see if it works. Push down in your hands. You're going to lift your body up, and you're going to come to your toes, and you're just going to kind of do almost like a little bit of a back bend, like an up dog. Yeah, that's a little different. And then come all the way back. Find that length. So use the feet, really push into the floor. Reach the sit bones, push into the hands, lengthen the spine, find the tightening of the waistline. Using all of that, go ahead and keep it tightened, keep the legs working. Come to your toes, you're gonna lift up your shoulders. You're gonna kind of pull, almost like you're pushing your chest forward, pulling the shoulders back. You may not get much of a back bend. And then come all the way back and walk your feet in. How'd that feel on the spine? Okay. Painful in the low back?
A little bit uncomfortable low back.
Okay. Use your legs more. Use your legs more. Okay.
I can remember it always tight.
Well, you want to tighten. So, do you know what you've worn ace bandages? Like wrapped around an ankle? I want you to feel, and if you were like Debbie, I can't feel it, okay? This is what that guy wearing the band around his hamstring was hoping to find. But the band is, yeah. So you want to take your muscle and you want to squeeze. So it was so interesting when I first started yoga, one of the cues was lift your kneecaps. And I'd sit there and go, what the freak are you talking about? Can you just make your kneecap lift? And you're like, I don't know what that means, right? And then I learned to hug the muscle. And the minute I hug the muscle, the kneecap lifts. And I'm like, they meant to engage my muscle. But they had heard the cue. They didn't know how to. So anyway, that's what you're doing. I feel like I've got an ace bandage around my entire both legs. I am pushing down. Now, I could do this so intently that I couldn't move. So it's not there. But sometimes you have to do that to find that. Do you remember the push down with our legs? Can you feel your legs working with that squeeze right now? You don't squeeze them and lock the knees back, okay? But you just are finding, it's called an external hug of the muscle onto the bone. And then release and shake it up, okay? It's using that we want to find, okay? Especially if we're ever doing this. If I just move my shoulders back, move my chest forward, there is compression in the low back. If my legs, in fact, grab a block. I have used this often in class. Between the thighs, you've already been here, okay? Let's do it again. Squeeze the block. Come all the way back. Find your length. Push down the feet into the floor, right? Tighten. Squeeze that block. It helps you think of the tighten, okay? Push your hands into your chair. Lengthen through the spine. Can you still feel that corset action? Go ahead and bring the shoulders up first. Pushing into the chair. Come up to your toes. Okay? Squeeze that block. Squeeze that block. Squeeze that block. Go ahead and try this again. Feel a little bit of a back bend. Does it lessen what's going on in your low back? Yeah. And then come back and walk in. Does that make sense? That's enough. I don't want to wear you out. Does that make sense? How was that? Was that better on your back, Gilbert?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a freak low back tightness.
Yeah. So that is just one of the, it's like, oh, I'm not using my legs. I'm not using my legs. You know, it's just so easy. Go ahead and come around and sit. You don't have to move your chair back, but you can. Okay? Because I wanted to try, let's use our blocks. This was a great idea. I like when I have good ideas. Okay, you can sit on the edge of the chair. You're probably going to have to come back a little bit. Okay? We're going to, your blanket should be up and over. We're going over the backs. Okay? I love, let me turn. I should have left my turn. okay? See if you can get your shoulder blades over the top of the chair, okay? You can come here. If that's not comfortable, you can stay here, okay? Now, squeeze, okay? Try to push the feet into the floor. They're gonna push down, and as they push down, try to lift up with your chest, and then pull back with the waistline. Squeeze the block. Breathe. If your sternum can get parallel to the ceiling, then it's okay to drop the head. If it's not, then you don't. You just reach, lengthen, find that course of action, and then release. Go ahead and round. Come all the way up. Just hang forward. Yeah, you got it. How was that on your back? Did that work it?
Yes.
Okay. Was it painful?
No.
Okay. Come all the way back. I love hearing it wasn't painful. Now, bring the block up a little higher. We're going to add one more piece onto this. Squeeze the block, okay? Tighten, push down in those legs. Lean back. If you need to take an elbow here first, and then get the shoulder blade, okay? Now, the minute I do this, my legs want to just go. Feel them. They don't want to have to work. Push down, squeeze the block, lengthen the spine, breathe. Now take your hands, if you can, to the block. Push down with the block. Oh, notice what just happened. You've just created some space. It's an internal rotation of the thighs. Reach, and then come all the way back. Tuck your chin. Come all the way down here. Yeah, and just roll, rib cage, come up, find that rib cage roll. Okay, so that's homework. You might have a chair that's a little taller. In fact, you do. Okay, you might have to just get up here like this, put a blanket on it. Okay, you can sit back further. I know you have a block. Grab a block. Actually, I just had the thought, if you've got a chair that has back, put that right there on your low back while you do this, because it helps this. Here, Michelle, you lost your ball. Try mine. Oh, dang it. Careful getting up. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, hello. Okay, so squeezing the block. The ball goes right behind it. It doesn't go on the vertebrae, but it goes off to one side. Go ahead and lengthen up. Even if you've got a taller chair, okay, you just lengthen up. Let your shoulder blades try to reach up. I want you to think what we're doing with this amazing body, okay? This is anti my dad's hump. This is totally opposite. It's working the muscles that he did not work. See if you can push down with your feet. It's going to be hard. My heels want to lift. So push down with the feet, because my short legs. And then release. And when you release, curl and round and let the body. This lengthens the back of the spine. Okay. And then come all the way up, and you'll finish this with a side bend. Holding onto the chair, hand behind the head, just reach. And find that. Go ahead and just twist towards the floor. Push into your feet, squeeze the block, come all the way back up. Engaging the legs, go ahead and try the other side. Up and over. Go ahead and 2, yeah. Come all the way back. And up. Just fine. Kind of like you're running, maybe. Yeah. Beautifully done. Okay. All righty. Let's come onto our floor. Start with windshield wipers. Blanket goes underneath your head. You guys know this so well. You're going to just turn the hands up. Perfect. Notice the work we've done. Kind of just make sure that you celebrate this beautiful, amazing gift. I just remember, I still like my treats, you guys know that. But I just remember the change that happened in me as I started to just recognize the gift that this body was and is. And it's meant to age. I'm not quite sure why. I'm not quite sure what I learned other than patience.
The only way we're gonna get out of this life.
I know, but I just have a hard time wondering because what my thoughts are is like, but here I have all this time that I can serve, and is it because we're not very good at serving? I don't know. You know, is it like, oh, I just want to go serve, and I can because I heard or something, but maybe we'd be too selfish. I don't know. Beautifully done. Go ahead and pause. See if you can pull one knee into your chest and maybe a second one. You might have to just hold the thighs. They might not get in. But go ahead and tuck your chin and curl your forehead toward your knees. That might be something that is really like very uncomfortable to do. That is again. And when you're there, even if you just got one in, would you rock a little side to side? You're just giving yourself your own massage. If that really bugs your neck, keep your head down. Or you can also put a hand behind your head. Just supporting, but gently rocking. And then go ahead, take your knees to the right and just hold and twist. You're looking the other way. Breathing deeply. And then go ahead and take your knees the other direction. Breathing deeply. And then come into your Shavasana. Grab a bolster under your knees. You've got the longest legs. Always have to do that. This and that. All right. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. Let everything go. The work. The breath. Stay for as long as you can. If you have thoughts, that's what our brain is meant to do. So let the thoughts come and don't judge them, but also kind of scoot them out of the way. Just say, thanks, I'll remember. And you really will. When we honor our body and where it's at, not pushing it harder than it needs to be, but not pushing it, because it also needs to be pushed to get stronger. But when we are that mindful, our body shifts and changes. Doesn't mean there's never any pain anymore. But it does mean that it knows we're listening. And it loves that we listen. I'll end class here. Go ahead and just, in your mind, think of the goodness that is within you. Notice and recognize that you would not see anyone else's goodness if you didn't have goodness within you. It's impossible to see good if we don't have good be a part of us. Begin breathing, moving,